Hi everyone, this is Gaurav. Welcome to my learning channel. So in this video, we are going to take a quick look at how to install Python on your local machine. Now, there are various ways of running Python on your local machine, but I'll get started with the one that I think is highly recommended for a beginner, and that's the way that I really like as well. But as you move forward, you'll see that there are other less convenient way as well that people tend to use, and those are some of the ways which is being leveraged more in the organization. So we'll take a look at those as well as we go through this video. So first thing first, we need to go to Anaconda website where we will install the packages from Anaconda. So you go to Google and then you go to install Python Anaconda. All right. So here, based on your different operating system, I have Mac OS, so I'll go there. But if you have Windows and Linux, you can go to Windows and Linux. Pretty much the steps remains very similar. It's a UI based installation, so you don't have to do anything really. You just need to kind of download this file. They will ask for a bunch of information, so we are not going to provide them that. Now, this is about a 500 MB of file, so it's probably gonna take like a few minutes to download or 17 seconds to download. And afterwards, I'll show you quickly how to get like the entire package, which will have your ID, which will have your the backend of the Python, pretty much everything in one place. So that's one of the key reason why I really like this as well, because you don't have to go to 5 different places to install different things. And I think it does install like some of the basic things that you would need, some of the additional packages as well. So I'll show you that as well. So it will ask for some permission. You just need to keep on doing continue, or you can read through these things as well. I personally never do. So we will go ahead and install these things. Now for me, Anaconda 3 is already installed. I have been using it for some time, so I'm not gonna go ahead and install it again, but this is pretty much it. Essentially, after this, you click OK, and then it will install like a few files, and it's probably gonna take like a few minutes. And then it will install the entire system on your local machine. So after this, I'm gonna close this here, but you go ahead and continue. So after this, we'll go to terminal. Oh, sorry, we will go to Anaconda Navigator. You can go from here, or you can go to your launchpad and go to Anaconda Navigator as well. So once you're in Navigator, then you will see that you have a bunch of different options. So first of all, we'll get started with the notebook, Jupyter Notebook. And this is personally the one that I really like. So first of all, it will open a terminal, and then you go here and start a new kernel. So within this, and that's pretty much it. Now you're all set. At this point in time, you can just start running your codes in Python here, and you can build your own model as well. So let's just take a look. So print hello world, and then you go here and click on run, and see, now you're able to run your code. Now there are various shortcuts here as well. So one is that this is your one cell. Once you run a code, then basically it does run your one cell at a time, or you can run the entire notebook as well. Now if you have to, there are like certain shortcuts which I think is really you should definitely remember it, because it does make your life easier. So if you have to run a cell, you can just shift enter, and then it will go ahead and run a cell. Let's say that if you want to go inside the cell and you want to write some more things, then you just have to press enter. You write your stuff, then you press escape, and then you're outside the cell. Now if you want to go ahead and delete the cell, you have to press X, and then it will delete it. And if you want to kind of insert the cell after your current cell, you press B. Otherwise, if you want to press something before the cell, then you press A. And then you can go ahead and delete it as well with using X. Now the reason why I'm mentioning these things is because once you're kind of developing something which has multiple steps, then these shortcuts definitely help you a lot. And you don't necessarily have to remember the shortcuts. You can just go ahead and pretty much do all these things from here as well, and it does kind of tell you all the different shortcuts. One quick thing that I wanted to mention here is something called, let's say, a markdown. So let's say you want to develop a model, and it will have multiple steps. You'll start with the data preparation, then afterwards you will do a variable selection, and then you will do a variable reduction, then followed by model, then the performance and whatnot. So it's gonna have like a multiple steps, and overall you can say that you will easily have like 100, maybe 200 lines of code. Now, if you have to pass on that information to someone, then it does tend to become very difficult for the other person to read through and understand everything that's happening within it. So one option is that you can, like, this is not an option, but this is really highly recommended, is that you also keep on writing the comments and keep on mentioning what exactly is happening. And for that, you can use something like a markdown. So let's say this is my explanation of what might happen here. So you can write that, and you can do something like a markdown, and then basically this will, so when you run the entire notebook, then it will not run this part. And this does help you because you do want to mention the mathematics behind it. You might want to write some simple equations and whatnot. So all those things you don't want to error out when you're running the entire notebook. So this is one way of running it. There are other ways as well, and now these are the ones which is less convenient. So let me just show you that. You go to terminal, and you, okay, let me just close this first of all, leave the page, close the terminal. All right, so you, oh shit. So you go to terminal, and then you just simply enter Python, and then now you can start writing Python codes here as well. So same thing, hello world. Now it will give you the same results. Now, as you can see that this is not very intuitive. This does not look very user friendly, but if you do prefer, then you can definitely go ahead and use this as well. The third way is using some sort of IDE, and for that, I mean, there are multiple ways. You can use something like PyCharm, you can use something like Spider. I'll show you how to do it in Spider. I think PyCharm, now you'll have to buy it. I think they do provide a free version, and then afterwards you need to buy it. So you can use that as well. But my point is, why use something when you can, why pay for something when you can do it for free? So here, it's fairly intuitive. So you write your queries here, and then if you want to run it, you simply just press F5. This is your terminal, and this is where your results are going to be. If you want to install anything here, like for instance, if you want to install any package, you can do a pip install. And let's say you want to install pandas, then you can go ahead and do that. If pandas is not already installed, you'll go ahead and install it. This is your third way of doing it. The fourth way and the last way is you basically just go ahead and save this file somewhere. Let's say you want to save it on a desktop, and this is your code2.py. You want to save it as a Python file. So you can go ahead and do that as well. So now you go to terminal again. And then basically the idea is going to be that you will, so you will just run that code. Sorry, let me just go to desktop first. And then you just run it by using Python, and it will just do the same thing, which is hello world. These are the different ways. Now, the last one is the one that is typically being leveraged if you have to schedule something. So essentially, personally for me, what I do is that I always start a project with IPython notebook, and I'll kind of get my hands dirty. Sometimes I'll forget my syntax and whatnot. And then once I'm done with everything, then I'll kind of pretty much collate everything as a part of one code, put it in the Python code, and put it in production. So that's pretty much it for today. In the next video, we'll get started with some of the basic variables and with the next steps. So thank you so much.